Hey y'all, hey. I have finally made my way back to YouTube. I know it has been a week. I have just been inundated with my 9 to 5 and I have had a lot going on. So I have not been able to upload this week. So I thought I would take this time to just check in with everyone, give a few updates, debt-free update, and just some life stuff that's going on because I missed you guys. So I wanted to check in. I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm lounging right now. I was watching some Olympics. I got my wine. I am just chilling right now. So hopefully you are too, because life is lifing. Whew. So where have I been this past week? I have been swamped with work. Swamped. So I have been trying to put in just some extra time to get some things squared away. I'm in a relatively new position for me. So I am trying to, I'm in a relatively new position because I took a promotion recently. So I am learning a new role and I'm trying to adapt and trying to get used to what I'm doing now. So I've had to take some extra time to work, get my organization right, because I'm pretty, I wouldn't say I'm type A, but I'm pretty strict. Like, I like my workflow to be how I need it to be. And sometimes you have to put in a little extra time to do that. And so that's what I've been doing, and some other projects. So it's just been killing me. I've been very tired, trying to watch the Olympics when I can and trying to just maintain, because it seems like something's always getting thrown in there. So the first update I have is I was talking about our water issue in one of my videos. I'll try to remember which one that was. I'm not sure which one it was. But we have been getting notices that our water usage was high. We've been trying to figure out what it was. And now we are waiting for the city to come and check our meter. Of course, my thought is that they're going to come check the meter. They're going to say nothing is wrong with it. Although this spike only happened after they installed these new meters. I'm sure they're going to say there's no issue and that it's on us. But after that, we'll have to get a plumber to come out and check. It is what it is. It's one of those things that I talked about with like home ownership. I do not, am I the only one in the world that's not really a great big fan of home ownership? I wonder that. Like, I could do without it. I like, I guess after years of apartment living, I like being able to just call somebody and have them do that and it not affect me, not affect my bills, because I like consistency. Home ownership is not consistency. And you can do everything right and you can maintain it and you can do everything you're supposed to do, but something is going to pop up. But that's what an emergency fund is for things like this. So we are prepared for it, but it just sucks because I'm like, oh, this is going to disturb my work day. I don't want to have to deal with these extra things while I'm trying to work. But it is what it is. It's one of those things. That's one thing that I've got to get straightened out. So that's been on my mind big time because I need to get it resolved. It's obviously not too major because it's not a huge spike, but it's something going on. And my husband's trying to check everything to see if he can locate what the problem is, and we've just been unable to. I have a suspicion, but not sure. But after the city comes out, we'll have a plumber come out and take a look at it and kick out more money. But I love trades. So shout out to the plumbers, because that's a great trade. It's a great trade. Plumbers, carpenters, electricians, shout out to you. Shout out to you. That's an awesome freaking career. You can make a ton of money. And I love trades. I'm a big fan of trades. So that's one thing that's been bothering me, because I just want to get it over with, get it taken care of. I don't like procrastinating on stuff like that, because anything you hold off on only gets worse. That's been my experience. I'm always thinking the worst. So if anything goes wrong, I'm thinking it's going to be like, you know, some major catastrophe. So I like to be prepared for major catastrophes when I can. But, you know, this is not the best of times for anybody. Like, nobody wants to be giving up money like that right now. I sure don't, but it is what it is. So I'm going to give you an update on my debt-free journey. I haven't really, you know, made a whole lot of progress. I've told you guys in my bill time video in July that I basically have a set amount that I just pay every month. I guess you'd call it a snowball, if you will. And I pay that amount, and it's usually continuous through the year, except 2 times a year, April and October, where I do a lump sum on my student loan. So my student loan lump sum is coming up very soon. I am prepared for that. And remember, my goal is to be under $10,000 on my student loan in December, and then make a decision on whether I'm going to just pay that remaining balance and be done. Not sure. I did get a question, a question to my email about whether or not, what about the debt relief that the president is trying to push through. I was actually eligible for the very first program that he put out there that got struck down by the Supreme Court. But the SAVE plan, I'm eligible for it, but it will not help me in any way. All that the SAVE plan would do would increase my monthly obligation, my monthly payment. SAVE would only make my payment higher. I would pay a higher payment, and then I would pay it off before I would be eligible for any forgiveness. So that is the reason why I'm just tackling it. I'm just going to go ahead and pay it. I don't have time to keep waiting on what is going to happen. If something pops up between now and December, or now in 2025, if I don't pay it off in December, then so be it. But right now, I'm just going to ride this wave and pay this debt off. So I finished last month with a total of $103,000, and that was $85K of that was my mortgage, and then $17,600 was the student loan. I was able to pay $1,480 on these 2 debts, and now I am down to $101,000. Well, it's $101,597. So, you know, it's progress. It's little progress. But my next biggest milestone is to be under $100K in debt with my mortgage and student loan, and that should be happening in October. So that is my milestone that I'm looking forward to. When you've been on a debt-free journey for a very, very long time, you have to find some kind of small milestones that give you some kind of joy. So that was my next milestone, is to be under 100K. So that is coming up in October, and I should be under the 100K mark. I should be in the 90s then. I'm happy about that. I'm excited about that. I'm pondering whether or not I will finish this student loan off this year or whether I will just hold off. Every time I see something in the news about the economy and things that are going on, I get really scared to let money go. Even though paying off debt is never a bad thing, I still get scared. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to have the wherewithal to let that money go in December. I would love to, but I would just have to see what happens, play by ear, and go with the flow. So whatever happens will happen at that time. Of course, I will update you. But right now, I am sitting at $101,597. $101,597. Okay. And that's that for the debt. It's always going to be around that much every month, except for my lump sum months where I will pay extra. My goal for my lump sum is an extra $2,600 in the month of October. It could be more, it could be less, but that is the earmarked amount that I plan to let go, in addition to my regular $1,100 that I'm paying toward that. So we shall see what happens and what I actually pay when that time comes. But right now is not that time. So that is my debt update. So again, I've paid off an additional $1,400. It's really $1,479 and some cents, but I'm just going to say $1,480. And that consists of $84,975 for the remainder of our mortgage and $16,622 for my student loan. That's what the 101K consists of. And those are my last two debts, which is really why my debt-free journey is kind of boring, because I only have two things left that I'm paying on consistently. But as you do your snowball and you start tackling one after the other, this is what you come to. This is when it gets boring. This is when you need to have like little milestones that you're looking forward to so that you can feel something as you're paying it off. And I'm happy about it. That is a major milestone for me. I mean, I started off this journey with over $200,000, including my mortgage and credit cards and other stuff. And now to see that I'm actually getting ready to be under 100K, I like that. I like that for me. I would like it to be zero, but I like it for me right now. So that is my debt update. I have a update regarding working out. I've been able to try to stay active, even though I'm working a lot of extra hours and a lot of extra time, trying to stay active. I'm having to do home workouts right now because of my workload. So I'm doing that, but I'm already down some pounds already just from getting more active and getting out of my couch potato state that I was in when I was sick. So I'm down, I think I was 130 when I made my workout update, and I'm down to 126. So I've lost quite a few pounds. And I'm happy about that as well. But that can change. So like I said, it's not really the weight, it's the feeling. When I get to a point where I feel like when I'm running that I'm not straining my joints, because I do have issues with my knees. they can give me problems sometimes. So I try to, when I start to feel that, oh, my knees are bothering me, this doesn't feel good, then that's when I know, like, I probably need to drop a couple of pounds just to make that impact a little less rough on the knees. So that's that. Now, what other updates do I have? I definitely know I am not getting a car anytime in the near future. Definitely know that. I was pondering that about a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago. I was pondering that. Yeah, no, that would not be happening. I'm not going to get a new car anytime soon. I want to ride this student loan thing out, get that out of the way, and then make a decision on another car and see how that goes. But hopefully it'll make it. Who knows, man? The way that I see it, or the way it's always worked for me, every time that I feel like, oh, everything's okay, something comes in and just throws a monkey wrench, like this water line thing. Next thing I know, it probably be a car thing, some kind of car issue or something like that. I never know. I literally prepare for the worst of everything because my life seems to deal me the worst of situations. And I've gotten so used to that happening that I'm like, yeah, it's going to go bad. And this is what I need to do. I already planned for it to go bad. And I don't know if that's like bad juju. I was thinking about that, like maybe I'm putting negativity in the atmosphere. I hear people talk about that a lot. Like, oh, well, you're putting that energy out there, so that's what you're getting back. Maybe I should be more positive and think the greatest things will happen and nothing wrong will ever happen. But just be prepared should something go wrong. Yeah, I don't know. But that's a thought. It's a thought of changing my mindset of how I am thinking. Another interesting thing is that I learned that we kind of did like a personality analysis and how people work. And I learned that I am kind of like a perfectionist. It's something called DISC, D-I-S-C, and it's different personality types in a work environment. And I am apparently a C, and I'm smack dab in the middle. And I don't like to be wrong. My husband will probably agree with that. And I like to make sure that I am extra informed about things so that I don't make mistakes and don't make errors. And yeah, that kind of lines up with me personality-wise, work-wise, and outside work. So I have areas that I need to work on when it comes to those things, because I can be super, super hard on myself, super critical of myself, very hard to it's very hard for me to give myself credit for anything. I finish something and immediately start worrying about the next thing, and I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, I'll say to myself, oh, if I can get to this goal, I'm good, I'm happy, I'll be thrilled. But I get to that goal and I immediately move the goalpost to something else. It's not healthy. It can be quite stressful. And so that's something I've been thinking about a lot too, is kind of trying to figure out how to improve that in myself, to make myself a little bit more like you can be off. Like, you don't have to sit there and like study something for 1,000 years, like trying to make sure that you don't make any little error. It's very nerve-wracking. It's not a good feeling. It's just not a good feeling. And that was a real eye-opening thing that's had me thinking a lot lately about just being a little kinder to myself. I've come a long, long way. I've gone through a lot of things. I didn't even have anywhere to go for quite a while, just bouncing from family members. And I was trying to figure out my footing and trying to figure out my life and trying to be better. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. And I think I started beating myself up from a very young age from having my daughter young, because it was so disappointing to most everyone who had these high hopes of, oh, she's an achiever, she's going to do this, and she's going to go to college, and she's going to do that. And I let people down in my mind. And so I've been really, really hard on myself and not very appreciative of what has been made out of that. And I'm not saying that like my family didn't, like they were upset about my daughter being here. They love her to death. I do too. Everybody does. But, there's always that expectation of she's going to do this. She's headed here. And it just didn't go that way. And I think life has always kind of done that to me. It never goes the way that I think it's going to go. And so I build all these little shields of, it's going to go really bad, so I need to do this extra. I need to do that extra. You'll hear even from my planning, my budget planning, I have a backup emergency fund to my emergency fund because of my fear. It's really not good. It's really not good. But learning about that style and my personality analysis kind of made me really start to think, I need to make some changes or I'm going to stress myself out. I'm not getting any younger. I do not want to be sitting around stressed out for the rest of my life. So that is something I will be working on diligently, to be aware, because I think when you're aware, you can adjust. And now I'm aware, so there are places that I need to adjust. And there are times that I just need to take it easy. Stop putting so much pressure on myself. Some things will get done, some won't. So is life. But I have a lot to be thankful for in this time. I am thankful for. So I would just appreciate those things, appreciate myself. Hey, kitty. And be happy with where I'm at and where I'm going. Because it's not over. Not over yet. Kitty wants to say hello. So we will see. And that's really all I got. I'm going to drink my wine and chill out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you soon. So, bye.